my gosh! What did we just witness? I take it all back. Oh, I've been sitting here on my high horse saying that I don't care about this year's Stanley Cup final matchup between the Hurricanes and the Golden Knights. But oh my gosh, I care now. This has been, debatably, the craziest opening 3 games we have ever seen in a Stanley Cup Finals series. It's been back and forth. There have been blowouts, there have been fake-outs, and there have been some crazy goals, challenges, and otherwise. This Game 3 between Hurricanes hockey and Golden Knights hockey might have just been the craziest game we have ever seen, period. At least in this era, right? Stanley Cup Finals? Oh yeah, that just ups the stakes even more. The Vegas Golden Knights have taken a 2-1 series lead in the Stanley Cup Finals with a 5-4 double overtime victory over Brandon Bussi and the Hurricanes in Game 3. Vegas is alive. Vegas is electric. You saw the opening game festivities and the presentation on the ice of the Golden Knight going out there and conquering the storm. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and what started out in Vegas was the Vegas Golden Knights. They got 2 disallowed goals in the second that were both challenged and that were both disallowed. Freddie Andersen going out there and letting in everything that moves on a Golden Knights team that opened this game up with only 2 shots in the first period. What was going on with Freddie Andersen? He gets bailed out twice by the rulebook. It is 0-0 heading into period number 2. And then the Golden Knights strike. You have 2 goals in the span of less than 20 seconds scored by Tomas Hertl, assisted by Eichel and Marner. And then you have Mitch Marner himself. This maybe wasn't necessarily what he tried to do. He ended up throwing the puck to the front of the goalmouth and it deflected off of the Hurricanes D-man and in. Marner's going to take that. That's his 8th goal on the playoffs and his 2nd point in 20 seconds. Give it 4 minutes, and Mitch Marner ends up getting yet another one to make it 3-0 for Vegas. All in the span of 4 minutes here. You see Marner dangling his way right by Freddie Andersen and shoving it in on the backhand. What a beautiful play. And then, just 2 minutes after that, with the puck getting broken up by Tomas Hertl, it sparks a mini breakaway sort of move for Mitch Marner. He's coming down, you've got the defenseman on his left, and Marner decides to go Gretzky mode. He just fires it, a slap shot, right there from outside, and it beats Freddie Andersen. Marner has been taking a lot of slap shots in this series. You think about it, this guy hasn't really been doing much of that in his time in Toronto at all, and now he's got a hat trick, 4 points on the period, and Mitch Marner is all of a sudden locking up that Conn Smythe trophy. Here is Mitch Marner in the playoffs before this year, 13 goals in 70 games. Mitch Marner this playoffs, 9 goals, 19 games. He has definitely placed himself in a much higher echelon of play. Every right winger with more points than Marner in a single postseason. You've got a list of 6. Bussi, Recchi, Kucherov, Middleton, Curry, and Bure. Those were the only guys who have scored more points than Marner in a postseason run. So by the time the game reached this point, it was like, okay, well, Vegas, they have a 99% chance to win. That's what Polymarket was going out there and saying. They were up 4-0. What's going to happen here? Well, I'll tell you what happens here. Third period comes, and the Hurricanes take out Freddie Andersen, who had a .750 save percentage, and they put Brandon Bussi in instead. And Bussi has to go out there and stop a Mitch Marner penalty shot. Oh my gosh, dude. Marner had the opportunity to make it 5-0 Vegas. He had the chance to get his 4th goal of the game. Bussi stays with him. He makes the save, and then the Hurricanes come back. Jordan Martinook 703, Taylor Hall 729, Jordan Staal 742. This team got 3 goals in the span of 40 seconds. Oh my gosh, Vegas, they're imploding on themselves. They are choking it away. And then in the final 2 minutes of regulation, Andrei Svechnikov gets a goal. And we think that there is a chance this one could get called back for goalie interference or whatever, but it's actually the Vegas Golden Knights player that shoves Svechnikov into the net, or whichever other player it was. I can't even remember at this point. Somebody got shoved into Carter Hart and the crease, and it was deemed a good goal. John Tortorella did not challenge it, kind of taking a little bit of a different path compared to Game 2. And you have Carter Hart, who went out there and allowed goals on 3 consecutive shots in this third period, the second straight game where Hart had done that. Carolina strikes quick. Carolina strikes fast. They go out there and they seize their opportunity whenever it's there. That's how they scored 3 straight on 3 straight shots, and Svechnikov with the game tire at the end of regulation. From what could have been a 6-0 lead for Vegas had the other 2 goals just counted, to an actual 4-0 lead, to a 4-4 game, and then an overtime where we don't see a conclusion. This was a crazy matchup. But the ultimate winner goes to Shea Theodore, 5 minutes into the second overtime period, where Brandon Bussi doesn't even really do anything wrong. Theodore gets the puck from McNabb at the point. Oh yeah, by the way, Braden McNabb is back. It's like his nose got sewn back on shut. But McNabb throws it over to Theodore, he fires the one-timer, and the puck deflects off the boards and off of Bussi's leg and in. What a hard ricochet, and what a stupid game-winning goal. But you don't ask how, you ask how many. The Vegas Golden Knights take this one 5-4 in what was debatably the craziest opening 3 games of a Stanley Cup Finals series ever. Oh my gosh, dude. Such a shame they all went one way. Ay, ay, ay. Shea Theodore banks it off the backboards, and then he banks it off of Bussi. Can we talk about how embarrassing it is for fans to sit down during overtime of the finals? Okay, we don't need to talk about that, man. It's Vegas. Their team is new. But the Vegas Golden Knights, they had a 99% chance of winning this game at the end of the second. That chance dwindled to about 50% towards the end of the third, and then ultimately Vegas prevails off of a crazy, crazy goal. Take a look at the Money Puck Deserve to Win meter. You'll see that the chances, I mean, they were right down the middle there, man. You can't really get any closer than that, right? 55-45. What a tight matchup. The Vegas Golden Knights have taken a 2-1 series lead. Mitch Marner is securing the Conn Smythe for himself. Toronto Maple Leafs fans are in shambles. Freddie Andersen is getting hung out to dry by his own guys, and he isn't making any saves. Brandon Bussi has to be Carolina's starter in Game 4. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.